now watching Compton Rick Rock TV. Let's get to the content.
One of my favorite hip hop groups was broke up due to bad business, and that was NWA. We all seen what happened when Ice Cube, Easy, Dre, Yella, Ren, and the rest of the guys over there at Ruthless Records. Jerry Heller was one of the guys who Cube blamed for bad business with him and his friend Easy, man. And it been a whole lot of other hip hop artists that had bad contracts, not reading the contracts, not having lawyers look over the contracts. A lot of people just be happy to get in the game and they sign their life away. Not saying that's what's going on in this case right here, but a lot of guys with talent, before you even think about signing a contract, learn the business. Don't put so much of your time into music to where you don't learn the business first. Learn the business first. Understand the business that you're getting involved in, and always have a lawyer look over the contract. If you about to do a deal with somebody and they trying to rush you to do a deal, you say, hold up, man. I like everything you saying. It sound good, man. It sound like we could be a winning team, but let me take this, look over the contract a few days with my lawyer. And if they say, no, you got to do it right now. We need it right now. You got to sign right now. And then more than likely, you're about to get worked. So if they can't let you, man, I mean, go ahead. It's all good. Go ahead and look over that with your lawyer and come back and we could do business. That's how it should be, man. Always have your business in order. We're going to get to this, man. This is DJ Academics, no double dip. Academics respond to Wack 100 speaking on his comments about Blueface contract. There is some controversy over the internet saying that Wack 100 worked Blueface out of some bread, this contract. But I have been seeing Blueface and Wack 100 ever since all this hit the internet. They still have been working with one another. I don't too much know what's going on. Maybe they can explain what's going on, and maybe we'll double back and cover this content some more. But we're going to see what Academics is talking about, and we're going to get to this content. But before we do that, man, y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get over and see what they talking about. Let's go. All right, let's go over and see what this is about, man. Let's go.
Anyway, before I get to the topic of him and LLE, I do want to address, this idea and what I spoke about with Wack 100. It was clipped. I won't say not necessarily out of context, but people took a piece of what I said and they ran with these salacious titles to say, I am accusing Wack 100 of completely robbing Blueface. Now, I could probably play what I said, just to make sure I'm holding myself accountable and not trying to change the narrative. But also I want to play what Wack said in response to it. And maybe that's fair, right? Let's go. Academics, Blueface, Wack 100. Let's see if we can find that clip. So I want to be very factual about it. Here we go. Was it this?
Wack 100 has issued a warning. So I'm going to play.
What the fuck? YouTuber with us. What the hell is this? Here we go. It's a conflict of interest. I'm not going to get in their business, but I always knew Blueface was. I'm going to tell you why. Blueface is signed to Wack 100 and managed by Wack 100. Let me tell you how this works. When you sign to a label, they take at least half already. Then you're getting managed by the guy who owns the label. So of your 50% that you're getting, or less than 50%, he's still taking at least 20% of that too. It's double dipping. You get what I'm saying? So you never sign, you never get managed, or you don't have a management company owned by the people that also sign you.
All right, let me start right there. Is that possible, man? Anybody in the chat and in the comment section that might know more what DJ Academics is talking about the music business, maybe y'all could put in the chat and help people understand exactly what's going on here. Now, can you do that? Is it possible to be signed to somebody and managed by somebody if they get 20% and 50% of your earnings? That mean that they get more money than you getting out the deal. Who owns Cash Money West? Is that a company that's owned by Wack 100, or is that Birdman's company? I haven't seen no other artists other than, well, you probably had Savvy Third. I remember Savvy Third. He was up under Cash Money West. So I don't know, man. Is that possible? Maybe some of y'all in the chat could leave a description up under there that might clear up some of this so everybody can get an understanding what's going on. But if that's true, man, 70% going to somebody else and 30% going to you, definitely got to know the business before you get in the business. But some people be just so happy to get on. They don't care, man. Some people, they'll sign that, you know what, let me just get in, get on, and then I'll worry about that later, man. You can't sign something, then later on come back complaining, talking about, man, I'm getting work. No, you should have had a lawyer look over your contracts, buddy. Let's get to this, man.
Okay. Now, before I address and kind of like, not necessarily clean up what I meant or really fully explain, I do want to give Wack 100 the opportunity. And he did respond. He responded here. Was it here?
Academics claims that you've been stealing money from Blueface.
Yeah, I got on his ass about that. That was crazy.
So for the record, he said since Blueface is signed to you on a music level and managed by you, that means that you're essentially taking like half of his money.
Here's the thing with academics. When I talked to him, I said, have you ever done a contract with anybody musically?
Wack never said that to me, and I absolutely have. I literally have a joint venture, just like I have a joint venture at the Academy Records. It falls under 10K. Used to be under Capitol, and now they sent me notice. They're under Atlantic or AMG, okay, which is a newly formed thing. Elliot, which is the son of Lucian Grange. The deal I did was with the son of Lucian Grange, which is Elliot Grange. It's on 10K Projects. It's there. I'm signed to my own label, right? Which literally I had to sign that myself, and also I signed another person as well, and also I've offered contracts as well. But that's neither here nor there. Would I say I have more experience in Wack with doing contracts and stuff like that? I would say no, because Wack has worked with a lot more people. Clearly.
All right, let's start right there. What happened to them joint venture deals that everybody was getting back in the days? I believe 50 Cent, G-Unit, they had a joint venture deal, I believe, with Interscope, man. Why we don't see that no more? Why we don't see rappers nowadays getting their own business, their own record labels, and get joint ventures with distribution companies? Why we don't see that no more? It seems like every rapper right now, they even try to get on through somebody else and let them take full control of their business. They just want to be heard. We don't see that no more, man. I think the last person La Russell, man. Shout out La Russell from the Bay Area. He been doing it independent, man. Them independent artists, man, definitely come up out that Bay Area. They notorious for that. JT, the bigger figure, man. E40, all them dudes started out the trunk of their car, man, selling records, man, doing their own thing independently. I believe La Russell just got a deal with Rock Nation, man. You know, he been doing this thing, but he said, I get to keep all my masters. I just went over there now. I get my music played on the radio. Shout out La Russell, man. A lot of y'all need to go and probably get some of his game, man. Some of his teachers, that Bay Area teaching, JT, the bigger figure, all them dudes, they got the game down there in that Bay Area, man. Let's get back to this, though.
No, I said, what are you talking about? Well, I'm looking at Finesse. Finesse's contract, he got 4 or 5 people. I would never allow that to happen with none of my clients because I know too many direct people.
But who is it? It's
Moneybagg Yo.
Oh, so he originally signed
Mob Ties.
And then Mob Ties.
JPE, which is the dad. You got Atlantic as the mother company. So that's 4. And then him. You see what I'm saying? So his 20% is really probably 20% of a 40%, which is really like 8%. This is where Act gets shut down. He said Blueface is signed to me, right? Blueface was signed to Cash Money West. Cash Money West is owned by who?
Birdman.
I just oversee that division.
All right, I guess we got the answer to our question earlier. So Cash Money West is owned by Birdman, and I guess Wack is the overseer of it. He the one who get to pick the artists, bring them Birdman, and they cut a check, man. I guess that's how it went. So I guess that answered the question earlier, man. If y'all know anything different, leave it in the chat.
So what the fuck are you talking about?
Academics claims.
The reason why Wack is really good is that he has a way with words, like any great media personality is. That's why I think he's one of the top media personalities. I want to make some corrections to what he's saying, and also probably help clearing up what I was saying. I don't know the full details of the business between Wack 100 and Blueface. Anything I'm saying it in general, even though based on what we've heard publicly from Blueface's own mouth on interviews and even recently, it feels like what I said matched up with what was going on. I don't have the contracts. I haven't looked at Blueface's stuff. So I'm going off of what they have said publicly, what we perceive, and how that should be interpreted. Here's the very premise. The premise is this. If I do a contract, like put it like this, this happened with the Offset like QC thing. It's a reason why, well, let me use another analogy before I get to that. If me and 15 chat niggas get caught up in a RICO, hopefully we don't, right? It's a reason why it's a conflict of interest for your lawyer to be a lawyer of someone else. Why is it a conflict of interest? Because at a certain point, they might have to enter into a proffer status or whatever with the government that now you have to pick whose interest you're prioritizing. It's a conflict of interest for someone else. That's why people have separate attorneys. By the way, it's the reason why a judge would get recused in many situations. If a judge, who many judges used to be prosecutors and also had private practices as defense attorneys, if a judge previously, and by the way, I thought this helped out YSL Mondo, Fonnie Willis previously represented YSL Mondo.
Yeah, that mean they buddies. And they can have conversations with each other that won't be good on your behalf. So yeah, it's always best to have different lawyers, man. I don't want to have no lawyer if I'm signing something and they got the same lawyer. No. Let me go get my own lawyer and then we could talk, because quite naturally they lawyer gonna be on their side, man.
Who's self-acknowledged as a co-founder of YSL, when she was doing private practice in between one of her prosecutorial gigs, and she represented him for a gun case. Clearly, who knows how that representation went? She may have had a lot of knowledge from attorney-client privilege. Now, because she represented him, it would be unethical of her to then prosecute him, given the fact that she also has information that it should be only between them. Now, Technically, that should be a thing, but what would normally happen is that prosecutor would recuse himself. Doesn't mean that YSL Mondo could never be charged. No. What it means is that to not have a conflict of interest, you don't want someone who previously was with you to be prosecuting you, because now it puts you in a disadvantaged position.
I believe that's a violation of your due process. I might be wrong. Y'all know, leave it in the comment section.
So whether it's a judge that used to be an attorney that represented you, or a prosecutor that used to be a defense attorney that represented you, those people would what they call recuse themselves. It's a conflict of interest. In business, if I'm trying to sign someone, like I was trying to, and I eventually did, I successfully signed someone to the Academy Records back then. They wanted to use my lawyer. My lawyer helped me get the deal.
Right.
My lawyer got 5% of my overall deal for the Academy Records. He is incentivized to make sure me, who's going to be the guy who's signing a bunch of people, I got the budget, I'm the guy. He wants me to get the most of money because he's going to get the most of money, right? So it wouldn't be ethical if I am signing a young kid and I said to the kid, you need a lawyer, but use my lawyer. That lawyer's not going to go in there and say, hey, let me get the deal really in the favor of this guy when I'm already eating with Ack over here. He's just going to get me the best deal. Do you understand? It's a conflict of interest. It's a pretty simple thing to acknowledge.
That was a good way to break it down for y'all who don't understand. He just gave y'all some game right there. Always go get your own lawyer, man. Y'all be having this money, man. Y'all be spending it on chains, cars, clothes, the bras. No, man. Go invest in you a lawyer, especially if you in the entertainment business. Go get you an entertainment lawyer, entertainment lawyer, man. That's the best move you can make, man.
Here was my understanding of what Blueface contract and situation was, right? And Wack does a really sleight of hand right here, and I want to point it out.
What is it? It's
Money bag, yo.
Oh,
Contract.
Here we go.
Anybody, music.
His money.
Here's the thing with academics. When I talk to him, I said, have you ever done a contract with anybody musically? No. I said, what are you talking about? Well, I'm looking at finesse. Finesse.
Now, even though the conversation that I had stemmed from finesse, I was talking about a particular part. It's not about the 5 people in the contract. James Prince, the father's, James Prince Sr., he's listed in the contract, but really he's a manager. It becomes a conflict of interest. That's where I got this idea of conflict of interest. If he's supposed to be managed by the father, but signed to the son, why in the contract does the father, who is quote unquote going to be that's already a conflict of interest. You're managed by the father of the nigga you're signed to. Come on, like these are like.
Hey, boy, James Prince, they got a cold hustle going on. I'm gonna do something on James Prince Jr. I seen something yesterday with him, man. He a cold piece of work. This game is cold, man. I think that hip hop might be one of the only business where you gonna get work by your own folks, man. I think every other music genre, they don't. Well, if I said that right, y'all help me out. Y'all know But listen, you don't hear no country Western dudes getting worked out of their stuff. You don't hear nobody else but the rap game, man. The rap game is vicious, man.
Kind of simple things, right? Like we're not like
probably one of the reasons why the rap game, hip hop is dying out.
We don't got to be Aristotle or something, right? But whatever. Let's say that happens. When reading the contract, the father was also included as someone that was going to take percentage. Well, to me, that's double dipping. How are you the manager? And how are you also in the contract as the person that will be getting some type of proceeds from the music as if you were a label or, and this is the important part, a production company. Now, I'm going to explain to you a little bit of music shit because Wack is going to overtalk it right here. Listen to Wack.
His contract, he got 4 or 5 people. I would never allow that to happen with.
Okay, so I explained that part already, right? It's not about necessarily the amount of people. It's that some people are doing 2 different roles, but they're all claiming percentage. That's a problem.
But none of my clients, because I know too many direct people.
But who is it? It's
and also the problem, even if you're saying, because somebody could make they could make the argument to say, well, JPE, which is James Prince Entertainment, he's in the contract because, he's going to do management stuff, but he's just getting his money from the label. Well, no, you could do a letter of direction. And even then, that still piggybacks the artist because.
All right, man, y'all could go on over here to DJ Academics, man. Let's go to his page. Y'all could go over there, King Academics. Check out the rest of this video. I hope all of you guys are paying attention, all you up and coming hip hop artists, rap artists, man, that want to get on in the game. Before you even think about going to sign with somebody, man, get your business together. Go to the library, get you some books. Go on Amazon, get you some books. Go to one of these Barnes and Nobles, buy you some books. Get in contact with an entertainment lawyer and invest your money in that. Learn as much as you can learn about the business side. Always take your contracts and have them looked over by a lawyer before you get to signing anything. And like I said earlier, if you're about to sign some paperwork and they won't allow you to take it or have a lawyer look over it or even have your lawyer present, if they won't do that, then you shouldn't be signing anything with something that you don't have no knowledge of, man. This could be a learning lesson, man. If this is true, I don't know if it's true or not. This ain't nothing but content we haven't heard. I haven't seen anything with Blueface where it came out of his mouth and say this is what's going on. Until Blueface come out and say, hey, man, this is what's going on, then we'll see, the content gonna be ran on that because it could get nasty, man. We done seen this, like I said earlier, a lot of groups, a lot of good records have stopped because of the business was wrong. I would love to see another G-Unit album. I would love to see another, who else, man? It's a lot of groups, man. Another, what's Cash Money? The Hot Boys. I would love to see the whole group together, man. We would love to see that, man. But until this business is right, it won't happen. The main group I want to see back together, I don't care how old they are, is another West Side Connection, Ice Cube, Dub C, and Mac 10. I don't believe they issue had anything to do with the business side, but I would still love to see that group come back. Leave y'all thoughts in the comment section. It's Compton Rick Rock TV. I catch all of y'all on the next one.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Compton Rick Rock TV. Also, hit that notification bell and catch every video when I drop.